Yeah, Danny, and that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Right now at 5, an area Catholic school will walk out this morning after a reverend admitted to sexual misconduct. Plus, the bearded bandit, credited with 9 bank robberies, has admitted to 1 more. And a war of words. We hear the Attorney General's response following the governor's press conference on the ILO contract investigation. It's Friday, November 1st. Good Morning Providence starts right now.
This is Southern New England's trusted news source, Good Morning Providence.
Well, good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Caitlin Gelhaus. Happy Friday, happy November. Cara Bailey and Ceci Del Carmen have the day off. We're going to start things off with getting a check with ABC6 Storm Tracker meteorologist Kelly Bates. She's here with your first forecast of Friday, November 1st. Kelly, I cannot believe it. We are saying the word November. It's here.
Yeah, rabbit. Say it before you get out of bed. Brings you luck for the month, by the way. Anyway, we do have a little bit more color to this map than we had yesterday because we have been upgraded from an elevated fire risk to a warning, a red flag warning. And that has to do with a couple of factors. First of all, we're going to see temperatures that are going to be pretty close to where we were yesterday. It's still going to be bone dry. And today we're going to add in a very gusty wind in the afternoon. So we do have the red flag warning that has been issued for today, and that'll go through about 7 o'clock tonight. Right now, as we're overlooking the capital city, we have a temperature of 63. So it is still on the warmer side. Our average low is actually closer to 40 to 45. So we do have this warmer start, even though we have a cold front that's going through right now. We're not going to tap into that colder air until much later on. So here's where that cold front is. It will give us some clouds. It'll give us a chance of a shower too about mid-morning, but after that, we're going to be clearing to sun and staying warm with highs in the 70s. Caitlin?
All right, thanks, Kelly. And now, before everybody gets on out there, we're going to take a look at our drive times and the traffic out there. You're taking a live look over Route 146. It's a little blurry out there, but you can see just a few headlights. People are starting to wake up. It is just 5:02 right now, so a lot of you are probably still sleeping or watching us from home. Now let's get a check on our drive times right now as well. These are southbound drive times 95, the southern curves to Providence Place, 29 minutes there, and 146, 295 to 95, 7 minutes. Also okay there. Students of St. Michael's School will walk out of school early today to join parents and parishioners as they seek answers on the removal of Reverend J. Mello. Now, according to the Roman Catholic Diocese of Fall River, Mello admitted to sexual misconduct with an adult parishioner. This was after allegations of sexual misconduct were announced in June, which Mello initially denied. Now, according to a press release, children, parents, and parishioners will be holding a peaceful demonstration at the Fall River Diocese office at 11:30 this morning. They're demanding transparency and communication from the diocese. The release says in part, quote, "Many children at St. Michael's School have been emotionally impacted by Father J's abrupt absence, a trusted figure in their lives, and the failure of church leadership to address the situation is causing growing distress. An investigation into the case is expected to finish early next year." Cranston police have identified the man who was found dead by Tongue Pond. Now, according to police, 46-year-old David Rios was found dead off the Washington bike path near off Garfield Avenue Wednesday morning. Rios was released from the ACI last week, and police believe he was experiencing homelessness. Now, the medical examiner's office says foul play is not expected in this situation. A Cranston man who robbed 9 banks in 2012 has admitted to robbing one of those banks again. 44-year-old Justin Worley, also known as the Bearded Bandit, pled guilty this week to holding up a TD Bank in East Providence on New Year's Eve in 2019, getting away with $12,000. He and his accomplice, Nicholas Lage, were arrested later that night at Bally's Twin River Casino in Lincoln. 2 years later, in 2021, Lage was sentenced to 3 years in prison. Worley will be sentenced in January. And it's been over a month since we've seen more than an inch of rainfall at once. The city of Attleboro says since June, they've gotten almost a foot less of rainfall than they normally do. And city officials say its reservoir levels are a critical concern. Now, because of that, starting on Tuesday, the water department will begin operation of the Wading River plant in Mansfield. They say it's very necessary to start utilizing that plant in order to produce adequate volumes of water for drinking and fighting fires. We've seen a lot of them. However, the city says in the past at the Wading River plant, PFAS or forever chemicals that exceed state limits has been detected. Governor Dan McKee and Attorney General Peter Nerona are exchanging barbs at one another. The governor held media availability Thursday, 2 days after the attorney general cleared him of any criminal wrongdoing involving a lucrative state contract, but said McKee had a hand in steering that multi-million-dollar deal to a group with ties to the governor. Now, McKee claims the attorney general has a political axe to grind with him and was out to get him. ABC 6 News reporter Ryan Medeiros picks up the story from here.
Rhode Island Governor Dan McKee speaking publicly Thursday for the first time since the results of the ILO investigation were revealed.
I'm happy to say that today is a good day for Rhode Island. For more than 3 years, my office has been operating professionally and effectively while under the cloud of allegations associated with the ILO investigation.
The investigation delving into whether Governor McKee steered a state education contract to the ILO group because he had personal connections with its leadership.
I think the report speaks for itself, as we say in the report, that the governor plainly interfered in the bidding process. And that evidence, from where we sit, can't be seriously disputed. That's what the report says. Attorney General Peter Nerona confirming that, despite the evidence presented, McKee would not be facing any criminal charges. A day later, the governor responding to the AG's public accusations, questioning whether they were politically motivated.
While an attorney general is clearly and publicly campaigning against someone who is the subject of an investigation by his office, should that attorney general have recused himself? Peter Nerona had an obligation to recuse himself.
Even though both are Democrats, some political observers in the state believe Nerona may be considering a run for governor himself. And Governor McKee noted Nerona supported Helena Folks for the job last time around. In a post on social media, the Attorney General referring to McKee's press conference as dissembling, adding that the governor should wear Pinocchio's nose for trick-or-treating on Halloween.
The fact of the matter is, the crux of the allegation was false. You can't prove something that is not true. This issue was a political issue from the day one.
I'm Ryan Medeiros, ABC 6 News.
Oh, thank you, Ryan. Multiple Stop and Shop stores in Johnston and Rainham have officially closed for good. Now, this is part of Stop and Shop's plan to position the company for improved growth and longevity moving forward. Executives announced earlier this year 32 stores that the company describes as underperforming would be closing. Stop and Shop's Pittman Street location in Providence will also be shutting down today. Stop and Shop associates employed at the impacted locations will be offered other opportunities within the company. And this morning, state and local leaders will be highlighting prescription drug savings for Rhode Island seniors. That's with the help of the Inflation Reduction Act, which Senator Jack Reed, Sheldon Whitehouse, Congressman Seth Magaziner, and Gabe Amo will be discussing today. They'll be encouraging seniors to maximize their savings by taking advantage of the current Medicare open enrollment period. Now, during Medicare open enrollment, seniors can compare coverage options and choose health and drug plans for 2025. That open enrollment period ends on December 7th, and today's discussion will be held at the PACE organization of RI at 11 a.m. History has come to Woonsocket. The Federal Street Historic District in Woonsocket is now officially on the National Registry of Historic Places. There are 6 buildings included in this historic district designation, including the YMCA on Federal Street. Other buildings have been used for social, religious, and educational purposes in Woonsocket over the years. And this morning in Providence, Governor Dan McKee will join education officials and the Providence Public School District Superintendent Dr. Javier Montanez to announce Act 2 of the ART Re-Engaging Talent in All Students initiative. The Arts Initiative awards $5 million in arts education funding in schools across the Ocean State. That announcement will be at the Hope High Auditorium, 10 o'clock this morning. The Nuestro Mundo Public Charter School will be hosting a bilingual ribbon cutting ceremony today. The school board of directors will be unveiling a brand new building housing the school's bilingual kindergarten. The ceremony and new building is in preparation to help students become global citizens and stewards of our environment by learning every subject in both English and Spanish equally from kindergarten all the way through 8th grade. That ribbon cutting will be this morning at 11:30 on Baxter Street. The Audubon Society of Rhode Island and the Yes on 4 RI campaign is inviting you to join them this morning. That's going to be for a family-friendly rally to launch Get Out the Vote efforts in support of $53 million in green bond funding. Now, Rhode Island voters will be able to vote if they would like to approve the $53 million green bond funding, which will improve waterways, farms, land conservation, and much more. That'll be listed on their statewide ballot through question number 4. Today's rally begin at 11 a.m. at the Audubon Nature Center and Aquarium in Bristol. And still to come on Good Morning Providence. With 4 days left until Election Day, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump have their eyes set on victory. We'll tell you where their focus lies straight ahead. And if you're seeing a bunch of costumes by the Amica Pavilion, it's not a bunch of late trick-or-treaters. Rhode Island Comic-Con is here when we come back. Who you can meet for a photograph at the convention next.
We do have some business to take care of this weekend. This is when daylight saving time comes to an end. We're also going to see a big change in the weather. We'll talk about both coming up.
All right, Kelly, can't wait. You're watching Good Morning Providence on ABC 6. We'll be right back after.
It's your voice, your vote.
Watch ABC 6 News, your election headquarters.
From the colonial charm of a slate roof highlighted by copper craftsmanship to the unique design of a larger roof with a local Y, there's a reason people choose A1. No matter a customer's request, style, or desire, in southeastern New England, it's A1 Roofing.
We make junk disappear by giving it a new purpose. We donate the donatables and recycle the recyclables. And any organic materials are taken for composting. All you have to do is point. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Alice loves the scent of Gain so much, she wished there was a way to make it last longer. Say hello to your fairy godmother, Alice, and long-lasting Gain scent beads, part of the irresistible scent collection from Gain.
Before I called the Stefano brothers, my garage floor was cracked. It was extremely hard to clean and keep clean. I couldn't be any happier with the way my floor turned out. When I found out the Stefano brothers was doing garage organizers, I reached out to them and it took my garage to a whole nother level. My new garage storage solution makes me feel organized. Everything has a place now. And when I walk into my garage, now I'm walking into my home.
Milk chocolate beyond words. Classic recipe by Lindt.
Every day it's an honor to work for the people of Rhode Island. The people who teach our children and the parents who get them to school. The people who build our economy and defend our nation. The people who provide affordable health care and protect abortion rights. The people who protect our planet and our state. I'm proud to work side by side with you and for you. I'm Sheldon Whitehouse. I approve this message and I ask for your vote.
The SEC on ABC. Top teams take the field Saturday. First, rivals Florida and number 2 Georgia battle in Jacksonville. Then, conference-leading Texas A&M faces South Carolina. The SEC on ABC, Saturday at 3:30 and 7:30 p.m. Eastern.
Did you know solar is the most abundant renewable energy source available? The company you trust in roofing systems can also provide solar options to make your home the most energy efficient it can be. Call A1 Roofing to learn more.
Well, 4 days until Election Day, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump focusing on the Midwest today after several events in battleground states in the West. Trump says Robert F. Kennedy Jr. will oversee women's health if he wins. Harris responding with one word: no. ABC's Perry Russum is in Washington.
With 4 days left until Election Day, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Trump working late into the night, trying to mobilize voters in the West. Harris slamming Trump in Las Vegas, Nevada.
This is someone who is increasingly unstable, obsessed with revenge, consumed with grievance.
Trump in Glendale, Arizona, at an event billed as a hurricane relief benefit, going after former Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney, who endorsed Harris. Trump using violent rhetoric as he called Cheney a war hawk.
Let's put her with a rifle standing there with 9 barrels shooting at her, okay? Let's see how she feels about it. You know, when the guns are trained on her face. You know, they're all war hawks when they're sitting in Washington.
Trump earlier in Henderson, Nevada, saying Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a vaccine skeptic, will oversee women's health if he wins.
He's going to work on health and women's health and all of the different reasons, because we're not really a wealthy or a healthy country.
Harris responding on X, writing no. Harris at a rally in Reno, Nevada, reacting to Trump saying he will protect women whether they like it or not.
This is someone who simply does not respect the freedom of women or the intelligence of women to make decisions about their own lives.
Trump on the attack, pouncing on this comment made by billionaire Mark Cuban on The View.
Donald Trump, you never see him around strong, intelligent women, ever. It's just that simple. They're intimidating to him. He doesn't like to be challenged by them.
Trump posting, he is very wrong. I surround myself with the strongest of women with the understanding that all women are great, whether strong or not strong.
More than 62 million Americans have already voted. Across the country, data shows women outpacing men in early voting, 54 to 44%. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
Now in Rhode Island, just over 20% of eligible voters have already voted. That represents roughly 165,000 votes. More than 40,000 are mail-in and 124,000 are from early voting. Now in Massachusetts, over 73% of all mail-in ballots have been returned as of yesterday. More than 505,000 early voting ballots have been casted. Those totals represent nearly 30% of all registered voters in the Bay State.
ABC 6 weather brought to you by the Preserve Sporting Club and Resort.
Well, we are always looking ahead. After all, that's what forecasting is all about. And we have some big changes coming in terms of our weather. First up, we're looking at much colder temperatures that will be here this weekend. Not today, but certainly as we go into Saturday and Sunday. We have the chance of doing a light freeze on Saturday night in many areas of southern New England away from the coast. Of course, we have this matter of business. We do the clocks fall back on Sunday, well, technically Saturday night into Sunday. And we also have clouds and the potential of seeing rain a couple of times as we look into next week beyond the weekend. Our current temperatures are in the 60s, which is weirdly warm. Your average low for today is 40 degrees. We're starting at 63. So even though we're bringing through a cold front, and we are, there it is, we are looking at the sunshine to just jump on these warmer temperatures and bring temperatures back up into the 70s for one more day. After that, that colder air behind the cold front will begin to filter into southern New England, and we will see a big drop temperature-wise as we go from Saturday into Sunday. But between here and there, we have this front. So look for clouds. There will be a chance of showers. Once we get into the afternoon, though, we're going to do some rapid clearing, getting into that sun and bringing these temperatures up into the 70s. Overnight tonight, clear skies. Winds are going to relax, too. Temperatures are going to start tomorrow closer to average, but technically still slightly warmer than that point. As we go through the day, though, temperatures are going to be struggling. Colder air will be pouring in from Canada, and high temperatures will only be in the 50s. So we do have this much colder air mass that's going to be coming in to take charge. Saturday night, if you've got plans, bring along an extra layer because temperatures will be dropping pretty quickly, not only into the 40s, but into the 30s once we lose the light of the day. And then we get to the morning on Sunday, and temperatures in many areas that outlie the city are going to see a big drop, closer to 30 degrees. And that means we could see some freezing going on out there in terms of vegetation. Now, as we go through the day on Sunday, once again, temperatures are going to struggle. We're going to top out in the 50s. So we're going to swing the pendulum from much above average, which, by the way, we didn't touch the record yesterday. We topped out at 78. We're going to go much below average as we go into the upcoming weekend. But do not fret, warm weather friends. It comes back at us as we go into next week. I'll show it to you in a sec. Wanted to mention our drought monitor was just updated yesterday. It was updated on Thursday, and it does include the fact that we are now in a severe drought for a good portion of eastern Massachusetts. Now, with that said, even though temperatures will be dropping this weekend, we're looking at dry conditions. Monday into Tuesday, we bring through a warm front, and man, does it warm back up as highs go back into the 70s. Caitlin?
Thanks, Kelly. Wow, it's amazing what a difference a day makes. 75 yesterday, and we're talking about some freezing out there. Crazy. All right, let's take a look at the roads out there as people are starting their days. 95 at Branch Ave is where our camera is looking right now with our sky cam. You could see, wow, a lot more people. It's now 5:20 on Friday, and people are on the road, heading to work, maybe an early start for weekend plans. Let's get a check on our drive times right now. Southbound drive times 95, your south curves to Providence Place, 29 minutes, same as earlier. And 146, 295 to 95, 8 minutes. That jumped up just a minute, but all looking green and clean there. No issues to report right now. Now, Halloween may have been yesterday, but don't be surprised if you do see people dressed up like Deadpool, Captain, or Doc Brown this weekend, because today is the start of Rhode Island's Comic-Con. Now, starting today until Sunday, fans of all kinds of movies, TVs, and of course comic books will head to the Amica Mutual Pavilion. The list of celebrities attending is fairly stacked, with Back to Future's Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd available for signatures and photographs, along with Giancarlo Esposito, Dean Norris, and Michael Mando from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, Cole Sprouse, Jojo Siwa, Priscilla Presley, and even legends like Monty Python's John Cleese and Star Trek's William Shatner. Tickets are still available at ricomiccon.com. And in Newport, Restaurant Week kicks off today. From now until the 10th, 65 restaurants will be offering dining experiences, and guests can choose from different prix for lunch at $20 or $30 and for dinner at $30, $45, and $60. In a release, Discover Newport says the menus will be fusing autumnal flavors with locally sourced ingredients. For a full list of those participating restaurants, you can head to newportrestaurantweek.org. The Newport Car Museum is also looking forward to tomorrow in the Lamborghini Bull Run. The event is a gathering of Lamborghini owners starting from Boston and traveling all the way down Route 4 to the museum, complete with a police escort. The gathering is to raise awareness for the Movember Men's Challenge. It's a month-long campaign to raise more awareness for men's health issues. The sports cars will reach the parking lot of the museum around 11:15 tomorrow morning. Also, Waterfire is coming back tomorrow night with a full lighting and with a salute for our veterans. Ahead of the 5:56 lighting, Rhode Island's congressional delegation and Governor Dan McKee will give remarks thanking veterans for their sacrifices. Over 100 torch-bearing veterans will create a ring of fire while the Navy Band Northeast and Rhode Island Army National Guard's 88th Band perform. The speaking portion will begin at 4:30 and Waterfire will wrap up around 10 o'clock. And still to come on Good Morning Providence, investigators are looking into what led up to a whale washing up on a Westport beach, what we know so far, coming up next. And a squirrel fight in the Empire State for the sake of TikTok. My goodness, we'll explain that coming up next.
It's not just time for football, it's time for the marching bands. And it's time for the ABC6 News Band of the Week. Mondays and Tuesdays, watch for the high-energy halftime performances and a behind-the-scenes look with the band director showcasing all the hard work that goes into prepping to shine on game day. It's the ABC6 Band of the Week, sponsored by Hart's Roofing and Construction.
Get the rugged Honda of your dreams during Happy Honda Days. Honda was named KBB.com's best value brand. Visit your local Honda dealer or shop online today.
When you have moderate to severe eczema, it's okay to show off.
With Dupixent, show off your clearer skin and less itch. Because you have plenty of reasons to show off your skin. With Dupixent, the #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists and allergists, you can stay ahead of your eczema. It helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema to help heal your skin from within. Many adults saw 90% clearer skin. Some even achieved long-lasting clearer skin and fast itch relief after first dose. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. Show off to the world. Ask your eczema specialist about Dupixent.
A cold November wind blows the Buccaneers into... What happened to your eye? I told you, Ma. The Bucs are playing the Chiefs this week. Gotta go. Love you.
Hey, Luke, I am so excited to host the CMA Awards again.
Nashville, here we come.
Hang tight, honey, got a pocket full of money, and I'm headed straight home to you.
Laney, what are you doing here?
I'm hosting the CMA Awards with y'all. I think I can add something you ain't never had before.
Like what?
Like humor, style, a little bell-bottom flair.
I guess we do need you, Laney.
That's the spirit. Y'all ready to do this?
I can pull off bell bottoms.
Sure you can, buddy.
Get the fun-to-drive Honda of your dreams during Happy Honda Days. Honda was named KBB.com's best value brand. Visit your local Honda dealer or shop online today.
Well, welcome back to Good Morning Providence. The carcass of a whale has washed up on Elephant Rock Beach in Westport. Now, this is video from our Now Local News app that you're seeing right now. It was sent in by a viewer named David. Thank you, David, for sending this in. Noah tells ABC 6 News it was a humpback whale, and a necropsy was done Thursday afternoon. The results are not back yet. When they are, we'll update you on all of our news platforms. There's a fight brewing over the custody of a squirrel. Yeah, that's right, a squirrel. And it's a battle that's pitting one man against the state of New York. Here's ABC's Andrew Dimbert.
Squirrel. A social media star has been seized by authorities in upstate New York, and his fans are going nuts.
To take Peanut away from my family is not only, heart-wrenching, but then you take it away from the organization that solely gets its funding from social media that requires Peanut to get that funding.
Mark Longo says officers raided his home, taking his pet squirrel, Peanut, and his raccoon, Fred. Longo runs a sanctuary, housing horses, goats, and alpacas, and says he relies on these social media videos to raise money, but it's against New York law to own a wild animal without a license. The Department of Environmental Conservation says it received multiple reports about the potentially unsafe housing of wildlife that could carry rabies.
My next step is to be contacted. DEC, the state, nobody has reached out to me to say anything. I don't know if Peanut is alive or they euthanized him.
Longo says he rescued Peanut 7 years ago after its mother got hit by a car, and says Peanut came back after being released. The DEC made headlines in a similar case this year when it seized this alligator from a home in western New York. It had lived there for 34 years, its entire life, but the owner's state license had expired and officials worried kids were being allowed to swim near it. Back at Longo's animal sanctuary, he questions whether all this was even necessary.
I know the laws are the laws and the rules are the rules, but the fact of the matter is they brought 8 officers here who ransacked my house for a squirrel and a raccoon.
Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
All right, and still to come on Good Morning Providence, we have an update on the city of Attleboro and how it's working to handle its water crisis. That story just ahead. And another Stop and Shop in our area closing today. Find out where when we come back.
At 1-800-GOT-JUNK, we'll remove any size mattress, just $89. All you have to do is point. Have a box spring too? We'll take both for just $149. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
My life is full of questions. Mom, is yellow a light or a dark? How do I clean an aioli stain? Thankfully, Tide's the answer to almost all of them.
Why do we even buy napkins?
It's Tide.
Think cold water, clean white soap.
It can with Tide. Do I need to pre-treat guacamole? No, with Tide. This is chocolate, right? Just use
Tide? Yeah.
No matter who's doing it, on what cycle, or in what temperature, Tide works. So I can focus on all the other questions.
Do crabs have eyebrows?
For all of life's laundry questions, it's got to be Tide.
Ghirardelli Intense Dark. Bold. Rich. Intensely delicious dark chocolate. Ghirardelli Intense Dark. Makes life a bite better.
Route 6 Auto Mall Kia in Swansea is having their biggest fall sale ever with 0% financing for 60 months and only $1 down. Lease a 2025 Kia Sorento S all-wheel drive for only $359 a month for 36 months at 10,000 miles a year. Route 6 Kia has a large selection of new Kias and always gives you a lifetime warranty at no charge. With good credit, a job, and $1 down, you can drive away in a new Kia today.
Tonight, 2020 is all new.
The night Karen was last seen, she went to a Halloween party.
This woman goes missing.
What lurks in the shadows
A patrolman comes across not one, but two smashed phones.
can be very real.
And there he was, in my backyard, in the middle of the night.
Tonight, only 2020 with the full story.
How big a deal was this trial? I'm sorry. Why is this happening?
From those at the center of it all new 2020 tonight on ABC.
At 1-800-GOT-JUNK, we'll remove any size mattress, just $89. All you have to do is point. Have a box spring too? We'll take both for just $149. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
This is Southern New England's trusted news source, Good Morning Providence.
Well, welcome back to Good Morning Providence. I'm Caitlin Gelhaus. It's 5:30 on this Friday morning, and we're going to send things right on over to Storm Tracker meteorologist Kelly Bates for what the rest of our day, but also the weekend's going to bring. Kelly, what can you tell us about this weather? It's been so nice, but also really dry.
Yeah, and that's presenting a particular problem for today. You notice the color may have changed on our map because we have been upgraded to a red flag warning. That's due to the fact that we're going to pick up a wind this afternoon. And what that further means is that any fires that start outside, brush fires, are going to be very easy to catch, quick to spread, difficult to contain. You are advised not to burn anything outdoors when a red flag warning is in place, and ours is in effect through 7 o'clock tonight. Right now, as we're overlooking the capital city, we're actually in pretty good shape. We have clear skies. We'll see the sun as soon as it pops up over the horizon. We have a current temperature of 63, and we have this weirdly warm air mass in place to start. I say weirdly warm because your average low for today is 40 degrees, but yet here we are at 63. Now, we do have a cold front on the way. That'll put an end to the party, but not after we get into the 70s for one more day today. When that front comes through about mid-morning, it will give us clouds and a chance of showers. After that, we're going to bring in the sun and a return to the 70s. Much colder air is going to follow for the weekend. I'll let you know how low we're going to go coming up in just a couple minutes. Caitlin?
All right, Kelly, how low can you go? All right, let's take a look at the traffic out there. Wow, a lot more headlights. Everyone's kind of making their way out there for whatever they're doing today. Work, weekend plans, who knows what you're doing. Hopefully you're tuning into us as well. Let's get a check on our drive times as well. 114 northbound White Church to 195, 9 minutes okay there, as well as 95 northbound Route 4 to Thurbers Ave. Thurbers Ave was just what we saw on that sky cam. 10 minutes all right there, as well as Route 1 northbound Kingstown Road to Route 4 at the split. 7 minutes also okay there. Students of St. Michael's School will walk out of school early today to join parents and parishioners as they seek answers on the removal of Father J. Mello. Now, according to the Roman Catholic Diocese of Fall River, Mello admitted to sexual misconduct with an adult parishioner. Now, this was after allegations of sexual misconduct were announced back in June, which Mello initially denied. According to a press release, children, parents, and parishioners will be holding a very peaceful demonstration at the Fall River Diocese office at 11:30 this morning. They're demanding transparency and communication from the diocese. The release says, in part, quote, "Many children at St. Michael's School have been emotionally impacted by Father J's abrupt absence, a trusted figure in their lives, and the failure of church leadership to address the situation is causing growing distress. An investigation into the case is expected to finish early next year. And Cranston police have identified the man who was found dead by Tongue Pond. Now, according to police, a 46-year-old David Rios was found dead off the Washington bike path near Garfield Avenue Wednesday morning. Rios was released from the ACI last week, and police believe he was experiencing homelessness. Now, the medical examiner's office says foul play is not suspected with this incident. A Cranston man who robbed 9 banks in 2012 has admitted to robbing one of those banks yet again. 44-year-old Justin Worley, also known as the Bearded Bandit, pled guilty this week to holding up a TD Bank in East Providence on New Year's Eve in 2019, getting away with $12,000. He and his accomplice, Nicholas Lage, were arrested later that night at Bally's Twin River Casino in Lincoln. And 2 years later, in 2021, Lage was sentenced to 3 years in prison. Worley will be sentenced in January. And it's been over a month since we've seen more than an inch of rainfall at once. The city of Attleboro says since June, they've gotten almost a foot less of rainfall than they normally do. City officials say its reservoir levels are a critical concern. Now, because of that, starting Tuesday, the water department will begin operation of the Wading River plant in Mansfield. They say it's necessary to start utilizing that plant in order to produce adequate volumes of water for both drinking and fighting fires. However, the city says in the past at the Wading River plant, PFAS or forever chemicals that exceed state limits have been detected. Governor Dan McKee and Attorney General Peter Nerona are exchanging barbs at one another. Now, the governor held media availability Thursday, 2 days after the Attorney General cleared him of any criminal wrongdoing involving a lucrative state contract, but said McKee had a hand in steering that multi-million-dollar deal to a group with ties to the governor. McKee claims the Attorney General has a political axe to grind with him, and he was out to get him. ABC 6 News reporter Ryan Medeiros picks up the story.
Rhode Island Governor Dan McKee speaking publicly Thursday for the first time since the results of the ILO investigation were revealed.
I'm happy to say that today is a good day for Rhode Island. For more than 3 years, my office has been operating professionally and effectively while under the cloud of allegations associated with the ILO investigation.
The investigation delving into whether Governor McKee steered a state education contract to the ILO group because he had personal connections with its leadership.
I think the report speaks for itself, as we say in the report, that the governor plainly interfered in the bidding process. And that evidence, from where we sit, can't be seriously disputed. That's what the report says.
Attorney General Peter Nerona confirming that, despite the evidence presented, McKee would not be facing any criminal charges. A day later, the governor responding to the AG's public accusations, questioning whether they were politically motivated.
While an attorney general is clearly and publicly campaigning against someone who is the subject of an investigation by his office, should that attorney general have recused himself? Peter Nerona had an obligation to recuse himself.
Even though both are Democrats, some political observers in the state believe Nerona may be considering a run for governor himself. And Governor McKee noted Nerona supported Helena Folks for the job last time around. In a post on social media, the Attorney General referring to McKee's press conference as dissembling, adding that the governor should wear Pinocchio's nose for trick-or-treating on Halloween.
The fact of the matter is, the crux of the allegation was false. You can't prove something that is not true. This issue was a political issue from the day one.
I'm Ryan Medeiros, ABC 6 News.
All right, thank you, Ryan. Multiple Stop and Shop stores in Johnston and Rainham have officially closed for good. Now, this is part of Stop and Shop's plan to position the company for improved growth and longevity moving forward. Executives announced earlier this year 32 of their stores that the company describes as underperforming would be closing. Stop and Shop's Pittman Street location in Providence will also be shutting down today. Stop and Shop associates employed at the impacted locations will be offered other opportunities within the company. And this morning, state and local leaders will be highlighting prescription drug savings for Rhode Island seniors. That's with the help of the Inflation Reduction Act, which Senator Jack Reed, Sheldon Whitehouse, Congressman Seth Magaziner, and Gabe Amo will be discussing today. They'll be encouraging seniors to really maximize their savings by taking advantage of the current Medicare open enrollment period. During Medicare open enrollment, seniors can compare coverage options and choose health and drug plans for 2025. That open enrollment period ends on December 7th, and today's discussion will be held at the PACE organization of RI at 11 o'clock. History has come to Woonsocket. The Federal Street Historic District in Woonsocket is now officially on the National Register of Historic Places. There are 6 buildings included in the Historic District designation, including the YMCA on Federal Street. Other buildings have been used for social, religious, and educational purposes in Woonsocket over the years. This morning in Providence, Governor Dan McKee will join education officials and the Providence Public School District Superintendent to announce Act 2 of the Art Reengages Talent in All Students initiative. The Arts Initiative awards $5 million in arts education funding in schools across the Ocean State. That announcement will be at the Hope High Auditorium at 10 o'clock this morning. The Nuestro Mundo Public Charter School will be hosting a bilingual ribbon cutting ceremony today. The school's board of directors will be unveiling a brand new building housing the school's bilingual kindergarten. The ceremony and new building is in preparation to help students become global citizens and stewards of our environment by learning every subject in both English and Spanish equally from kindergarten all the way through 8th grade. The ribbon cutting will be held at 11:30 this morning on Baxter Street. The Audubon Society of Rhode Island and the Yes on 4 RI campaign is inviting you to join them this morning. That's going to be for a family-friendly rally to launch Get Out the Vote efforts in support of $53 million in green bond funding. Now, Rhode Island voters will be able to vote if they would like to approve this $53 million green bond funding, which will improve waterways, farms, land conservation, and much more. That'll be listed on their statewide ballot through question number 4. Today's rally will begin at 11 o'clock at the Audubon Nature Center and Aquarium in Bristol. And it's 5:41, still to come on Good Morning Providence. A former Disney employee is accused of hacking the company's servers and has costed Disney thousands of dollars. We'll explain what that employee used the hacks for straight ahead. And they had their hands full in New Bedford trying to wrangle up some kids. We'll explain what we mean when we come back. And it's time for our question of the day. What New England city is best for a fall getaway? Boston, Massachusetts, North Conway, New Hampshire, New Haven, Connecticut, or Stowe, Vermont? You can scan that QR code on your screen or head to abc6.com/spotlight to cast your vote. We'd love to hear from you. We'll be right back after this break. Oh, Kelly actually is here.
Hi.
Sorry.
We have one more day in the 70s today, but after that, we're going to take a dramatic drop in the temperatures by 20 degrees on the daytime high. I'll let you know if this is the trend into the week ahead coming up.
All right, thanks, Kelly. And I don't know which one we're going to choose on which is the best destination. They all seem pretty good. Sorry about that, Kelly. We can't forget. We'll never forget about you. Don't worry. All right, we'll be right back after the break. See you then.
They say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Well, they are correct.
Especially when it's the irresistible steak, egg, and cheese bagel sandwich. Get yours today.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Dry skin is sensitive skin too, and it's natural. That's why Aveeno Daily Moisture Lotion and Body Wash are formulated to be gentle on dry skin, with nourishing prebiotic oat and rich, soothing emollients. Together, this duo locks in moisture all day for softer, healthier-looking skin, proven on skin like yours. Aveeno, healthy. It's our nature.
Ugh, stipated. Feeling weighed down by a backed up gut. Miralax is different. It works naturally with the water in your body to unblock your gut. Free your gut and your mood will follow.
For Imprint, this is Lisa. Hi, I'd like 50 welcome wows and 300 customer I love it.
Promotional products from 4imprint are certain to deliver ooh yes.
Wow. I love it.
Find some wow now at 4imprint.com. 4imprint, for certain.
Nothing feels as good as driving a new Hyundai. And now you can get a great deal on your favorite model at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Plus, every Hyundai is backed by America's Best Warranty. Hurry to the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event before this offer ends. Make your next getaway your best one yet. Drive away now in the Santa Fe with 1.99% APR for 72 months. Only during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
I love that my daughter still needs me, but sometimes I can't help due to burning and stabbing pain in my hands. So I use Nervive.
Nervive's clinical dose of ALA reduces nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days.
Now I can help again. Feel the difference with Nervive.
If you've been injured in an accident, tell them you mean business. Call D'Oliveira and Associates on the Hurt Line right now.
If you have to ask why it's important to start your day early, here's your answer.
Get any size iced coffee in any flavor for just $1.29 during breakfast hours.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
ABC 6 weather brought to you by the Preserve Sporting Club and Resort.
Now, while you've likely heard of the National Weather Service, do you know that it's part of a much larger organization called NOAA? Their work goes far beyond tracking daily weather or a big storm. ABC's chief climate correspondent Ginger C has more on how NOAA is helping us better understand our planet.
Weather and climate impact everything we do. They can threaten our lives during hurricane or heat wave, and other times they're simply shaping our weekend plans, how we celebrate milestones, dress, or even feel.
Weather forecasting has come a really long way, even in my lifetime. A 5-day forecast today is as accurate as a 2-day forecast was back in 1980. A lot of that has to do with more money being put in, more observation, more data, and more research from scientists all over the globe.
One of the most important groups getting us more data, a U.S. government agency funded by taxpayers called NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Many people know them because they run the National Weather Service, a go-to place for forecasts and meteorological data. But NOAA's contributions go way beyond tracking daily weather. At the heart of NOAA is information gathering, forecasting, and research. Meteorologists, researchers, and countless other partners rely on NOAA every single day. Just ask Andrew Phillips at the South Carolina Emergency Management Division.
We're really in communication with them all throughout the year for different events, including hurricanes is the hot topic now, but winter weather, severe weather, really anything that can impact South Carolina. We talk to them a lot.
NOAA's National Centers for Environmental Information is the world's largest provider of weather and climate data. They support the work of numerous public and private organizations, like the nonprofit research group Climate Central. They're using NOAA data to show how human-amplified climate change is impacting our planet.
NOAA is a vital piece of our communication strategy. Their data is vetted, it's verified, so we know we can use it and trust it in our reports.
NOAA also supports a wide range of research initiatives. The Coral Restoration Foundation works with NOAA to combat devastating coral bleaching events.
It's not just the funding, it's not just the dollars, which obviously we appreciate, but it's also in the strategy and the thinking that comes behind it. So they're also a resource to talk about what to do to guide the practice.
This really only scratches the surface of what NOAA does, but you get the idea. And based on NOAA's 2024 budget of $6.8 billion, we get these services for about $20 per person each year. With this Climate Minute, I'm Ginger Z.
Now that we've made way into November, October has gone down as one of the driest months ever in United States history. As of October 25th, the average precipitation across the lower 48 was less than an inch. Now, only 5 months out of 129 years of records have ended with less than an inch of average precipitation over the lower 48. That's according to data from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, which you just heard about, NOAA. New York City and Philadelphia likely had their driest October on record, but with the start of a new month, wetter weather, that's a hard one, is on the way. Now, according to the Climate Prediction Center's latest forecast, nearly the entire lower 48 is likely to have wetter than normal conditions in early November. And here with the weather, because she's the expert on it, we're going to send things over to ABC 6 Storm Tracker meteorologist Kelly Bates. Kelly, is it actually going to be wetter? And that is really hard. Say that 5 times really fast.
Wetter, weather, weather, weather.
Ooh, it's too early for this.
I only got 2. Anyway, we have a lot to get through because we have a lot of maintenance to do. And one of them is letting everyone know this is the time where we turn our clocks back an hour. You get an extra hour of sleep, unless, of course, you have a dog that needs to go outside or small children because, you know, they're not aware that they get an extra hour of sleep. But other things to think about, don't forget, in addition to the fallback, we change our batteries and smoke detectors and our carbon monoxide detector. And sunset after that on Sunday is going to move to 4:37 p.m. So it does bring in the earlier sunset times, which I know we all kind of don't like very much. But anyway, here in Providence, we do have clear skies. We have temperatures that are in the 60s, which is weird because usually they're at 40. 40 is your average low for today, but we are starting with some very warm temperatures. Now, what happens in front of a cold front, typically for us in southern New England, is a big surge in air that moves in from the southwest. It's where a warm air mass is located. So that's what's keeping these temperatures warm, even though the sky is clear. Now, this front will be coming through this morning. It's going to give us clouds. It's also going to give us a chance of picking up a shower. Not a drought buster by any stretch, but a chance of a shower nonetheless. Once we turn the corner into the afternoon, we're going to rapidly bring in the sunshine. And because of the warm start and the lag in the colder air behind the cold front, we're going to do one more day with highs in the 70s. Then we get to tonight, and that's when the colder air behind that cold front pours into southern New England. By the time we go through the day on Saturday, we're looking at highs that are only going to recover into the 50s, which swings the pendulum the other way, colder than average. And that's going to be with us both Saturday and for Sunday. Sunday morning, we have the chance of doing some freezing in terms of outdoor vegetation, as temperatures in many areas are going to be dropping to or below the freezing point in areas away from the coast. Highs once again on Sunday struggling to top out in the 50s. Now, we do have an adjusted drought situation. We have now gone to a severe drought condition for Boston, also up towards the North Shore, including Salem, where those brush fires were that we were talking about last weekend. And we have started to move into a moderate drought situation along the northern border of Rhode Island. Now, that's updated every Thursday, so that is fresh data from yesterday. Now, because it is so dry, and we have all of this available tinder out there, and because that front is going to kick up the wind, it has bumped us from a concern, a fire weather concern, to a red flag warning. And these are the conditions that accompany that. Easy to catch, quick to spread, difficult to contain. In terms of brush fires, no outdoor burning is advised at all. And again, this is our maintenance. It is daylight saving time when the clocks go back 1 hour. Enjoy your extra hour of sleep, by the way. Once we get by the weekend, we're going to bring in through a warm front Monday into Tuesday. That's going to give us about a 40% chance of showers, but it's also going to bring temperatures back into the 70s by the middle of next week. Caitlin?
All right, thank you, Kelly. Much shorter days ahead, as you mentioned. Not really a fan of that. I know many of you out there aren't either. But we have to do it every single year for whatever reason. We're taking a live look over the Washington Bridge right now. Many people out there, traffic moving right on along. We're also going to get a look at our drive times right now. This is 195 westbound, State Line to 95 split, 3 minutes okay there, as well as 24 northbound, Fall River to Route 93, 35 minutes there. Okay, no reports of any accidents we're seeing out there at this moment. And who let the goats out? The New Bedford Fire Department responding to Acushnet Avenue in New Bedford for a mother goat and her 2 babies in the street Thursday. Officials say a large dog was also hanging out with these animals. Firefighters were able to get a leash on the mother goat, safely getting her and her babies to Station 5. Animal control helped get the dog. The goats were returned to their owner. A former Disney employee is accused of hacking the company's servers to alter menus with false information. Now, according to a federal criminal complaint filed in Florida, Michael Shore falsified allergen information and printed profane language. The complaint does not name Disney. However, a lawyer representing the suspect in the case confirmed that Disney is the company involved. The complaint says that he was a menu production manager for Disney, but was fired in June for misconduct. He's also accused of using a bot to attempt over 100,000 logons to at least 14 Disney employee accounts, effectively locking them out of their accounts. He denied wrongdoing and said Disney was attempting to frame him. Now, that complaint alleges Shore's months-long cyber attack cost Disney at least $150,000. Resentencing for Eric and Lyle Menendez has been set for December 11th. That's according to a court official and a spokesperson for the brothers' lawyer. Prior to the resentencing hearing, the judge will hold a November 25th status hearing on the request. Last week, the Los Angeles District Attorney requested resentencing for the brothers. They were sentenced to life in prison without parole in 1996 for the 1989 murder of their parents. The DA has recommended the sentence be reduced to life in prison with possibility of parole. California law says they would be eligible for youthful parole and could be freed after a parole board hearing. And it's 5:53, still to come on Good Morning Providence. A final look at your weather and traffic.
For Southern New England, Friday night means football, and that means Pick Six is back, covering all the hard-hitting action from the gridiron.
Delivering all the hottest highlights, big hits, and scores featuring our primetime matchup.
Watch Pick Six on ABC6, Friday nights at 11, brought to you by Bay Coast Bank.
Your total access, Access Hollywood.
Weeknights at 7 on ABC6.
How do you print money legally? Just own an insurance company. They get a payment every month. But if you get injured, they argue about paying you. At Rob Levine & Associates, we use the power of law to get you more than the insurance company wants to pay. Call the heavy hitter.
Call 1-800-LAW-1222.
I wonder how this mattress compares to that big name brand.
No need to wonder. Hit that button. Let's play Bob's Dare to Compare. My signature hybrid mattress versus the leading brand name hybrid mattress. What are you looking for, Carolina?
Contouring memory foam? Can ship in a box? 20-year warranty.
Just mine has that, and theirs is over $1,000 more. Sure, they're not exactly the same, but is theirs worth so much more? You be the judge when you dare to compare. In store or at mybobs.com.
Alice loves the scent of Gain so much, she wished there was a way to make it last longer. Say hello to your fairy godmother, Alice, and long-lasting Gain scent beads, part of the irresistible scent collection from Gain.
Every day it's an honor to work for the people of Rhode Island, the people who teach our children and the parents who get them to school, the people who build our economy and defend our nation, the people who provide affordable health care and protect abortion rights, the people who protect our planet and our state. I'm proud to work side by side with you and for you. I'm Sheldon Whitehouse. I approve this message and I ask for your vote.
With just 4 days to go, this morning, GMA is right there, inside the campaigns, in the swing states, with all the morning's first breaking news on the final sprint to Election Day. Every morning, first on GMA.
Behind the back. No look. Let me show you how it's done. Now I know why they call you the heavy hitter. Injured in a car wreck? Call me, Attorney Rob Levine.
Call 1-800-LAW-1222.
Download the Now Local News app today and upload your pics and videos. You could see your very own story on the air and earn points towards rewards and gift cards.
Welcome back to Good Morning Providence. It's 5:56. Let's take another look at the forecast right now with meteorologist Kelly Bates. Kelly.
Today it's all about the progress of this cold front. The cold front's going to give us clouds and a slight chance of showers through mid-morning. Once we get into the afternoon, we're going to clear to sun, and we're looking at temperatures that will recover into the 70s. So it's really about one part of the day being one way and the other part being another. Highs again in the 70s, but after this, we drop temperatures with highs only in the 50s for the weekend. Caitlin?
All right, Kelly, and one last look at the roads right now. Our sky cam overlooking the Washington Bridge once again. As we just saw a few minutes ago, people really making their way out there. Not too backed up at the moment. We're also going to get a check on our heat map right now before those of you that are heading out the door can see this. It's mainly green everywhere, as you can see a little bit of that red and orange on Route 24 up there in the Taunton area. But other than that, all is well. Still to come on Good Morning Providence at 6 o'clock. With 4 days to go until the general election, we have new polls on how former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris are faring in battleground states. A look ahead when we come back at 6 o'clock. And military officials have released a report on how an expensive military jet got lost over South Carolina. The details of that report when we come back.
A cold November wind blows the Buccaneers into...
What happened to your eye?
I told you, Ma. The Bucs are playing the Chiefs this week. Mahomes, Kelsey, the defending champs under the lights. The loudest crowd in the world rocking at 142 decibels. This game is gonna be epic.
You work too much, sweetie.
Okay, gotta go. Bye, Ma. Love you.
URI football is on MeTV Saturday, November 2nd. Your nationally ranked Rhody Rams look to keep on rolling as they take on the Monmouth Hawks live at Meade Stadium. URI versus Monmouth live Saturday at 1 p.m. on MeTV. For tickets, call 401-874-RAMS or visit GoRhody.com/tickets.
Did this woman finance her lifestyle with their baby money?
Are you a surrogate scam artist? No.
Next, Inside Edition.
Tonight at 7:30 on ABC6.
One great idea can change your life.
That's what Shark Tank does.
That's the American dream right there.
This calling is for my kids.
What you've done is remarkable.
One of the most innovative things I've seen in my life.
This could be our biggest deal ever.
I want to be on a team with you.
Shark Tank, new tonight on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Tonight, 2020 is all new.
The night Karen was last seen, she went to a Halloween party.
This woman goes missing.
What lurks in the shadows
A patrolman comes across not one, but two smashed phones.
can be very real.
And there he was, in my backyard, in the middle of the night.
Tonight, only 2020 with the full story.
How big a deal was this trial? I'm sorry. Why is this happening?
From those at the center of it all new 20.